Emmerdale fans should brace themselves for high drama and unexpected plot twists later this year, as Kammy Hadiq takes center stage in a big new storyline. Fans have been calling for the ITV soap to explore Kammy's backstory since his entertaining debut last year, and the show is finally ready to explore his hidden depths. Shebs Mia, who plays Kammy, has lifted the lid on future plans for his character in a revealing chat with Soap Scoop, Inside Soap's weekly podcast for news, spoilers, and cast interviews. In his new interview, Shebs confirmed that he's just had a big meeting with Emmerdale bosses to discuss the longer-term arc for Kammy, so it sounds like the major storyline is getting closer. "You guys are in for a bloody surprise, I'll tell you that." Shebs laughed. "Obviously, it's a hot topic at the moment with Kammy. Everyone's always asking me, when do we get to learn more about him and understand what's happening? For the first part of my journey at Emmerdale, we were still snowballing ideas back and forth. Myself, the producers, the writers, we were all trying to understand what's going on. However, I have just come back from a chat with the producer, and what she said to me is something that I didn't imagine. I was like, okay, this is going to be interesting." He continued, "We do look into Kammy's past, and we are going to learn more about his family history. Honestly, it was a mixture of emotions when I found out. There was a lot of relief, there was happiness, but then there is also a tragic side to it as well. There's some tragedy in there, but it all makes sense. There's a reason why he's so cheery and charismatic. Fans have noticed a chemistry between Vinny and Lewis, who became housemates late last year. Looking out for his best mate. Will Kammy be on board with the potential new romance? I think Kammy really values friendships and relationships as well," Shebs teased. "We'll start to understand later on why Kammy really values it, which is a spoiler for the future, I guess. Because Kammy has found this friendship and innocence with Vinny. I think he really cherishes that. Kammy almost wants to be the protector for Vinny. Not because he shouted the loudest or demanded attention, but because he smiled like he meant it. A wide, warm grin that crinkled his eyes and made people feel, almost instantly, at ease. In a village weighed down by grudges, grief, and generations of bad blood, Kammy felt like fresh air. Which was exactly why people didn't look too closely. They laughed with him. They accepted his optimism. They let him brighten their days. And Kammy let them. Because some smiles were armor. When Kammy first arrived in the Dales, he'd done what he always did in new places. Kept things light. A joke here. A compliment there. A willingness to help without asking questions. He fitted himself neatly into the village like he'd always belonged, as if Emmerdale was just another stop on a journey that hadn't yet found its end. But behind closed doors, when the chatter died down and the lights went out, Kammy lay awake at night staring at the ceiling. Memories didn't respect geography. They followed you. Fans had noticed it. The way Kammy sometimes went quiet when families talked about shared history. The way his cheerfulness sharpened whenever things got heavy, like he was determined to outrun the darkness. The way he gravitated towards people who needed protecting. Especially Vinny. Vinny Dingle was gentle, earnest, and vulnerable in ways the village didn't always notice. Kammy noticed immediately. From the moment they became housemates, something clicked. Vinny trusted him. And Kammy took that trust seriously. "Shebs, we need to talk about Kammy." The words still echoed in Shebs Mia's head as he sat across from the Emmerdale producer during their recent meeting. For months, Kammy's journey had been a mystery even to the actor playing him. Ideas had been floated, abandoned, reshaped. Everyone involved had felt it. There was more to Kammy than what viewers had seen so far. And now, finally, the pieces were falling into place. "What she said to me," Shebs would later reveal, "was something I didn't imagine at all. The story wasn't just big. It was personal. Kammy had grown up fast. That was the first truth. He'd learned early on that charm could smooth over conflict, that humor could diffuse anger, and that being agreeable often meant being safe. His family life had been complicated, fractured by decisions made long before he had any say in them. There had been love, but there had also been loss. The kind of loss that settles quietly into your bones and stays there. It was the sort of childhood that taught Kammy one crucial lesson. If you couldn't rely on permanence, you could at least create moments of happiness, even if they didn't last. Back in Emmerdale, Kammy was fixing something in the house when Vinny hovered nearby, awkward and uncertain. "You all right?" Kammy asked, sensing it immediately. Vinny shrugged. "Yeah, just stuff." Kammy smiled, soft and reassuring. "Want to talk about it?" Vinny hesitated, then nodded. Kammy listened. He always listened. Because once, long ago, there had been no one listening to him. Shebs described the moment he learned Kammy's full backstory as emotional. There was relief, he said. There was happiness. But there's tragedy too. That tragedy, woven deep into Kammy's past, explained everything. Why he valued friendships so fiercely. Why loyalty mattered more to him than pride. Why he was so protective of people like Vinny. Kammy didn't just want friends. He needed them. The storyline, set to unfold later this year, will peel back layers viewers never expected. Kammy's family history isn't neat. It isn't simple. It's marked by choices made in desperation and consequences that rippled outward for years. There are moments of joy and moments of devastation. Moments that shaped Kammy into the man who walks through Emmerdale today with a smile that hides more than it reveals. Fans have also picked up on the shifting dynamics in the village. Vinny's growing bond with Lewis hasn't gone unnoticed. And Kammy sees it. He watches from the sidelines, conflicted. Because part of him is happy for Vinny. Genuinely. But another part, the part forged in loss, worries. What if Vinny gets hurt? What if history repeats itself? Kammy doesn't want to control. He wants to protect. I think Kammy really values friendships and relationships, Shebs teased. And we'll understand later on why. That understanding will come at a cost. The storyline won't shy away from pain. It will challenge the perception of Kammy as the endlessly upbeat side character. It will ask uncomfortable questions about identity, family, and the masks people wear to survive. For the first time, Kammy won't just be reacting to other people's drama. He will be the drama. As Emmerdale builds toward the reveal, one thing is clear. Kammy Hadiq's smile has always been telling a story. Viewers just haven't been listening closely enough. Later this year, they won't have a choice. Because when Kammy's past finally steps into the light, it won't just explain who he is. It will change how the village sees him forever.